There was a coup attempt in Venezuela. So there was an attempt to oust Maduro. The details of this story are absolutely insane. I mean, there's still, I guess somewhat of an open question as to who's behind it. But Vice did a little piece on it. Check it out.
Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, says 13 people, including 2 Americans, are in custody for trying to oust him.
Yo jugando al Rambo, al héroe.
6 people were killed during the failed incursion Sunday, according to Venezuelan officials. The armed men were intercepted trying to enter Venezuela by boat from Colombia. Silvercorp USA, a Florida-based security firm, claimed responsibility for organizing the attempted invasion. The company is run by Jordan Gaudreau, a former Green Beret.
At 1700 hours, a daring amphibious raid was launched from the border of Colombia deep into the heart of Caracas.
He's told media he was hired by Venezuelan opposition leader Juan Guaido, who was supposed to pay him $212 million for his services. Guaido denies any involvement. Maduro accused the United States and Colombia of orchestrating the plot, but both countries denied involvement.
We'll find out. We just heard about it. But whatever it is, we'll let you know. But it has nothing to do with our government.
Gaudreau has claimed Silvercorp USA provided security for a Trump rally in 2018. And on the day of the failed coup attempt, the company tweeted at the president. Since then, they have been mocked on social media for the failed operation. By Wednesday, Silvercorp USA deleted their Twitter account.
I'm speechless. Okay, so the first topic of discussion is, do you believe Trump when he says, like, oh, this had nothing to do with our government? Because, this seems really Bush League, dog. They got caught by Venezuelan fishermen. So, listen, I think there are many critiques to be had of the U.S. military and U.S., special ops and intelligence services, but, are they that bad where they get caught by fishermen? That's really bad. Like, you gotta be so... Trump says it had nothing to do with the U.S. government, but it is true that Silvercorp has provided security for some Trump rallies, so there is a connection there. But it does seem really Bush League as to how they did it. And, Juan Guaido, make no mistake about it, what he's been doing is, like, comical beyond belief. This is a guy who's, like, pretending that he's the leader of Venezuela, and you have U.S. and U.S.-aligned governments around the world. They've all agreed to pretend that as well. So, like, they'll invite him here as, like, the head of state of Venezuela is here, like, the real, leader of Venezuela, because Maduro's not, he's illegitimate. We got the real guy here, Juan Guaido. But, like, he's actually not in power in the country. He's not in control in the country. He's not the leader. It's not true. Like Maduro, dislike Maduro, it's irrelevant. He's the leader of the country. He's running it. But we've engaged in this long-term thing of just, like, everybody play pretend, and then maybe if we fake it long enough, it'll happen. And so Juan Guaido goes around the world as if he's, like, the leader of Venezuela, and everybody's like, bro, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. Why are you playing pretend? What a silly human being. And then now they say, Juan Guaido hired us for $200-some-odd million. If Silvercorp was getting paid $200-some-odd million, and I have no idea if that's true or not, but then you go, oh, the U.S. government had to be involved. Because ain't nobody getting that kind of money. Like some person is getting that kind of money. Nobody has that kind of money. Freaking billionaires barely have that kind of money. Okay, they do have that kind of money, but it's a lot. It's a hefty chunk of what they got. So you would think that the U.S. government has to be behind it. So my guess, and I'm admitting up front, everybody, this is just pure speculation on my part, but I do think that the U.S. government was behind it, because remember, and this is an important point, what do Republicans love? privatization. So you always get these kinds of public-private partnerships out of Republicans because they love that. They love the private sector. They don't like the government. So Silvercorp, it's like, let's hire Silvercorp. And so this way we have plausible deniability if they get caught. You understand? That's a super important point. See, now they have plausible deniability if they get caught. And now they turn around and go, because this was probably part of the deal. U.S. government was probably behind it. But part of the deal was, if you get caught, we didn't have Dickie McGee's axe to do with this. This is on you, dog. This is on you. And so now they get to act like, no, we acted on our own. It had nothing to do with the U.S. government, and they take the fall for it. But that was probably in the terms of an agreement. So if this had succeeded, Trump and the U.S. government would turn around and say, yes, we contracted with Silvercorp, and we overthrew the dictator Maduro. Freedom comes to Venezuela. Freedom. Yeah. Now we're going to put in our puppet dictator, Juan Guaido. So my guess is the U.S. was behind it. But the deal was, if it succeeds, we take the credit. If it doesn't succeed, you take the blame. And that was probably the terms of the agreement. And that's probably why the dudes who tried it got paid a lot of money. But now they got caught. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to end, if they're going to be put in a Venezuelan prison, if they're going to be killed, if they're going to, somehow there's a deal and they get released. I have no idea, but man, it's like that new show. That new propaganda show? What's it called? Is it Jack Ryan? I might be making that up. But there's a new propaganda show, and I think it was on Netflix, where some dude plays oh, Venezuela is gonna attack the U.S. They're gonna do a terror attack and nuke us or whatever. And then you have the American with the beard, and he's like, bro, I'll go save the day down there. Don't think anything of it, bro. I'll go stop the evil dictator who's gonna nuke the U.S. And they portray us as the good guys, Venezuela as the bad guys. It's such over the top propaganda. It's so ridiculous. But these dudes watched one too many episodes of that show and thought oh, we're going to do this thing. And they got caught by fishermen. I can't get over that, man. That's so silly. Anyway, total losers. Can we wrap this up with the whole attempt, because this is what the U.S. has done for so long now. It's let's put tremendous economic pressure and sanctions and an embargo and screw over Venezuela from an economic perspective and screw the population in an attempt to piss off the population to the point where they turn on their own leader. But that doesn't happen. Usually if there's sanctions from the outside, people fall in line more behind their leader. So we're screwing over the population. We're doing these economic sanctions. I'm not defending Maduro here, but for Christ's sake, can we support sovereignty of foreign countries? We don't have a right to run the world and own the world and topple whatever damn government we want. You have to support territorial sovereignty for nations, for countries, for sovereign nations. It's none of our business what they're doing there. You don't have to like them. You don't have to like Maduro. But we don't get to put Guaido in there because we like him. It's not the way it works. Mind your damn business. So enough with this. And by the way, I bet you there are going to be more attempts like this. Because look at what we did with Cuba. We tried this 1,000 times with Cuba. So there'll probably be more attempts with Venezuela. But God damn it, could we just mind our damn business? And really what it comes down to is the U.S. wants all the natural resources over there. They have tremendous oil wealth in Venezuela. Tremendous oil wealth. And it does have a lot to do with that. And before you say, Kyle, that sounds really conspiratorial, do not take my word for it. Take John Bolton's word for it, because he said it on Fox Business. He said, effectively, they got a lot of oil there, and it'd be nice for our oil companies if we get our hands on it. Well, there you have it. And now you see why, Mr. Bean and his merry band of idiots got caught by fishermen.